maybe things would have been sped up. Maybe, oh my gosh, it's gone out of my mind. Is it Kohler from Watt's case? Maybe it wouldn't have taken them 3 weeks to investigate Broomfield and to find that footage. Way too late to recover anything, right? Jeff Libler, sorry, but confession isn't going to save your soul. No, it's not. You're weak. He was using Suzanne, right? And maybe Suzanne was just using him, and they didn't, it was just fun, and it was a release and a relief, even to talk of things like being a wife or a husband, okay? I believe Jeff Libler was using Suzanne. He was a pussy back in high school, and he's a pussy now. He wasn't a good choice. Suzanne only thought that she was, trading in for better, because maybe her husband is just so fucking boring, right? And maybe Jeff could have some conversation. And he was a better masker. He masked. He had better social skills, so he could use her better, differently. He got exactly what he wanted. I'd say he has a role, a job where he could travel. He's telling his family he's traveling for work. And he's really seeing Suzanne, and he's using her, manipulating her. He didn't stand up for her when Barry threatened him on the golf course those decades ago. Oh no, man, don't hurt me. He couldn't even risk a broken nose for honor. He didn't give a shit then, and he couldn't do it now, even though he immediately must have realized if this goes somewhere, everyone's going to find out then anyway. No, he just wanted to try and save his face. So is he a serial affair haver, right? How many other women? These women don't seem to be coming out of the woodwork against Barry Morphew. And even if the person is a villain, right, they tend to do it. Look at how people treat Donald Trump, for example, people coming out, oh, he did this and that. Is it Linda Tripp? And, what happens is they're ashamed, and things didn't work out. They didn't become Mrs. Trump. And so, and people would come out of the woodwork and say about Barry, even if it shines them in a bad light for having poor taste, right? They would be. People would be. And yet where are they? They're not. Apparently the only person he slept with is dead. And I'm talking about someone that died of an illness. I'm not talking about Suzanne. She's disappearing officially. She's disappeared. She's most likely dead. I get that. I shouldn't be facetious. But, the person that apparently he really did have an affair with has passed away. She can't speak for herself. So Suzanne's gaslighting everybody. She's lying all the time. She's not being honest, saying, I'm having the affair. I really want to leave Barry. I'm finding comfort in someone else. She talks about, how it just got worse when they moved. Why? Her affair amped up and amped up and amped up. Of course, her marriage is getting worse. She's not working on her marriage. She's working it, right? And to accept and acknowledge this is not to... It should just be, that's just it. That's just the fact, okay? And it's hypocritical of people to, I understand Suzanne having that. Look at him. What a disgusting pig, right? There's no evidence that he's accessing the cloud, that it's not someone else. There's no evidence that it's not Suzanne Morphew's Ashley Madison account, right? She's having one affair. Did she realise what a dud Jeff really was? Was she trying to find, no. I mean, I don't know, but was she trying to set it up for the divorce courts to make it look like Barry was on Ashley Madison? See, we don't know. So unless these things can be solved, push them aside, take them off the table. Let's look at tangible things. The prosecution needs to get their fucking shit together. This has just been a circus, right? T.A. Linda Stanley from the start has always been lacking substance in my mind as far as this role, because she's politically ambitious rather than, she's it's all this. The cops, I know it's a bit rude to call them Keystone cops, so I'll try not to do that. In the first instance, when they turn up on Highway 50 and they see the bike probably maybe coming around that corner, and they're looking down through sparse vegetation at the time. Maybe, I don't know. But, they're not thinking about murder, right? They've been called as a welfare check, okay? For people to say things like, say things that are fair. It's not fair to say, why would they walking the grid? Fuck. The search, the farce of Andy Mormon's search, why aren't people complaining they didn't walk a fucking grid then? No, they walked the goat tracks. We clearly see that. We know that. And it was all to just do a couple of things, all orchestrated. But whatever, you believe what you want about that search. I'm not saying that, wasn't sincere on many, many, many wonderful people's behalves that went there, put in the time, effort, money, skill, endangered themselves. I'm not saying that Andy was insincere about that, but they got played. Everyone was played in some way there. The other thing, it is interesting, isn't it, that Mallory Morphew's proud homeowner out in Gunnison and has bought a house with a $98,000 down payment. That's a sizable down payment, particularly for a young woman. People are querying, is this the $70,000 from the safe plus the GoFundMe? That GoFundMe money was donated to help with the search. Now, Barry Morphew did search, and we know he organised teams. Did they spend $28,000 on it? Equipment, supplies, flying people in? I don't know. Perhaps they should be auditing themselves and giving people the information. Shit, I'm probably running late for work now. But, that is interesting, isn't it? $70,000, well, if that's missing, it was still Morphew's money, right? But, it's fucked up to say it's missing and then use it on a house. I don't know anything about that. We do need to know what's in Suzanne's bank accounts that Libla has access to. It's pathetic that D.A. Linda Stanley hasn't followed that up. Anyway, speak to you later.